Hello everybody, I'm me and welcome to my video. Today I want to tell you about a story about the moon. Let's go. In days gone by there were a land where the nights were always dark and the sky spread over it like a black cloth. For there the moon never rose and no star shone in the obscurity. At the creation of the world, the light at night had been sufficient. Three young fellows one went out this country on a traveling expedition, and arrived there in another kingdom, where in the evening the sun had disappeared behind the mountains. A shining globe was placed on an oak tree, which shed a soft light far and wide. By means of this, everything could be very thin and distressing bright, even though it were not so brilliant as the sun. The traveler stopped and asked the countryman who was driving past with his cart what kind of a light that were. "That's the moon," answered he. "Our mayor bought it for 3 leather, and to fasten it to the oak tree, he has to pour oil into it daily and to keep it clean, so that it may always burn clearly. He received a thaler a week from us for doing it." When the countryman had driven away, one of them said, "We could make some use of this lamp. We have an oak tree at home. It is just as big as this, and we could hang it on that. What a pleasure it would be not to have fear about a night in the darkness." "I'll tell you what we'll do," said the second. "I will fetch a cart and horses and carry away the moon. The people here may buy themselves another." "I'm a good climber," said the third. "I will bring it down." The fourth brought a cart and horses, and the third climbed the tree, bored a hole in the moon, passed a rope through it, and let it down. When the shining ball lay in the cart, they covered it over with a cloth that no one might observe the theft. They conveyed it safely into their own country and placed it on a high oak. Old and young rejoiced when the new lamp and its light shined over the whole land, and bedrooms and sitting rooms were filled with it. The dwarfs came forth from their cave in the rocks, and the tiny elves in their little red coats danced in ring on the meadow. The four took care that the moon was provided with oil, cleaned the quick, and received the quickly seller. But they became old men, and when one of them grew ill, they saw that he were about to die. He appointed that 1/4 of the moon should, as his property, be laid in the grave with him. When he died, the mayor climbed up the tree and cut off a quarter with the shears, and this placed in his coffin. The life of the moon decreased, but not divinely. When the second died, the second quarter was buried with him, and the light diminished. It grew quicker still after the death of the third, who likewise took his part of it away with him. And when the fourth were born to his grave, the old state of darkness recommenced. And whenever the people went out at night without their lanterns, they knocked their heads together. When, however, the pieces of moon had united themselves together again in the world below, where darkness had always prevailed, it came to pass that the dead became restless and awoke from the sleep. They were astonished when they were able to see again. The moonlight was quite sufficient from them, for their eyes became so weak and that they could not have borne the brilliance of the sun. They grew up and were merry and fell into their former ways of living. Some of them went to the play and to dance, others hastened to public houses, where they asked for wine, got drunk, brought and quarreled, and at last took up courages and labored together. The noise became greater and greater, and at last reached even to heaven. That is the end of the story. Thank you for your watching and see you in the next story. Goodbye.